Firstly, I just need to take stock of where we ended up at the end of last stream. Let's let the city run a bit. We've completely removed the original city layout. It was down here, and factored everything into the new grid structure. It's a very filthy industrial oil focused sector over here, which is full. So okay, so next time that we want any industry, we're going to need to create a whole new area. Still a few squares empty in the residential zones, so we can continue expanding that. There's some demand for residential and commercial. Remember switching over to water treatment. So the river is... well, there's a potential to dam this river for hydroelectric power. The water level's quite low at the moment, that's unusual. It's not even reaching pumping stations. Usually a lot higher than that. But we're in no rush, I suppose, to get any additional power. We're kind of close, but not quite at the limit of what we've got at the moment. So when that runs out, we'll look at putting a dam into place. No one's really complaining about anything. We're still emptying a cemetery and a landfill site. That's almost done. I think our first major issue is this traffic problem. There are just too many buses and trucks coming into the industrial sector. So I think what I certainly want is multiple entry points. So they can come off the highway at the top right corner or the bottom right corner. Maybe we go all the way round. They can come off in either corner. Could send the highway all the way round. It's an option. This four-way junction is also not good. A part of that is the traffic coming out of the industrial area, but it's also just the general traffic levels around the place. So I made such a lovely junction up there. I'd like to do something similar. Maybe we do, instead of a four-way junction, a three-way junction here, and then another three-way slightly above it that will then loop around the industrial area back into one down here. It's quite a lot of road to change, but I think that's my general idea of how I want to do it. And then we'll have multiple exits off of the highway into the industrial area. So the first thing I'd like to do then is put the junctions around the industrial area, and then we'll line up the exits on the highway with them. So it's going to be highway and then a road that comes off it. Might be kind of fun to put the highway off the ground just for the fun of it. Kind of cool, and then we can have off ramps that slope down like a lot of real ones do. We kind of want, so we want the ramps to join existing junctions at the corners or in the middle. Could do it the middle at the bottom, then maybe two on the sides, here and here. Okay, so let's, unless we have an off ramp at one and an on ramp at a different one, because that will spread traffic. I think that's a good idea. Way up, let's say we put it 12 up. We want to put it a whole block away. That's there. the moment I guess in my mind I've just got the one-way system. If we had a two-way highway, we'd need to... That could be best in terms of spreading traffic around. The junctions would then just be a bit different. Still never confident that the one-lane official highway ramp is enough. This should be, say it's 6 lanes. We're going to take potentially 3 off one direction and 3 off the other. So, can't. Gonna need to move a few supports out of the way. Same at this one, I guess. Not. That's the simple. Find the. There's the next run. Gonna want to be halfway. Come off. Back on halfway there. Doesn't look right. One side's shorter than the other. I don't know why, but. If that were the exit, there's only one lane. I don't know if that's enough. It's also quite steep. I think that's... Yeah. That angle's a bit sharp for that. I'm not entirely happy with that. But if we come off the next distance away, then we're going to be going on and off at the same point, which is an option. I think you see that on American highways quite a lot. On and off together, like as a 4th lane on the highway. Very not sure about this. Let's... that would also... not be right. There to, yeah, like that. For whatever reason, that one's too steep. Okay, the difference, the reason it's not symmetrical could be because the road's a different height based on the land underneath, I suppose. For starters, I want it to be 2-lane, at least. 2-lane without parking, ideally. Which isn't an option. So let's make it 3-lane, 1-way, no parking. If it needed to come from back here, can't get it to snap. Bit annoying. Supports are just in the wrong kind of place. Moving them hasn't helped with that snap point. Disable road guideline? Yeah. That doesn't really help either. That's the spot. There we go. Got it. That's not happy about something. Could be the support, I guess. Let's try again. I was just really not happy about coming off there. Don't know why. Could be the height of it or something. It's turning up, so it doesn't want to put it on this side to have the same, same issue. Join the 3-lane on. It was happy with the 1-lane, wasn't it? Let's try that. No, not there. There, it's fine. If I put it on that snap point, it's fine as well. That's very frustrating. Okay, let's head from the other direction. This would be the point. If we're coming off here, we need a bit more road to work from. If we were taking a 3-lane off here, it's not really complaining. Distance required is a bit more than we've got available, at least to make a straight junction, which I prefer. So we would want to move the highway a little further away. Let's do that. Unless we change to the corners. No, I kind of like this idea. We'll move the highway a little further away. Extend this road out as well. Distance of those isn't right for some reason. So there we go. So I had the highway 1 block away. Going to want it 2 blocks away. I'm actually going to want here is the corner. That. Don't think that this is madness, but I want. What side are we going? Eastbound on the south edge. So yeah, no, that is that way round. Let's continue that. If we can get the supports at the right spacing. Also put it right in the middle of the road. Well, let's force the supports. Can we, if we just do that? Forces the spacing over the road. Do the same here. Do the corner on this edge too, so we can see the whole thing. It just needs turning around. Okay, so that's how that's going to come over. We then need the other direction. Be 1 away, like so. I think. Looks right. Corner's going to be slightly different. Need to work out not 2, it's 2 and a bit. Ah, that's a helpful line. I wonder if it's to there. Looks like it. Yeah, that looks right. It's nice when it gives you helpful guidelines to work on. Just turning around. It's a lot higher than the other side now. We might alter that, depending on what we need to do on this side. Okay, so if we were working with normal off-ramps, we are going from that point to that point. And there, back on. Ah! Didn't see that coming. 22,000 population. So we've unlocked additional loan, which we don't particularly need, at least at the moment. A solar power plant. Interesting. Let's take a look at that. That might save us from having to dam a river. It produces a lot of energy, so our oil-fired plant that we've got is creating 120. The solar creates from 112 to 160, so more than that for lower upkeep. We may swap entirely over to solar then. I'm sure we can find a good spot for it. Still might be interesting to dam the river anyway, to see how it affects the water flow and stuff like that. Our landfill is empty, excellent. Tidy that up. And the cemetery's empty as well. Excellent. That redundant power connection is just going to carry that forward temporarily so that we've got can feel a bit more secure about the power supply. That would then be going there. No, where's the line? There. Then off again. These are all the wrong way round. I mean so that looks right. My concern is using a single lane is perhaps not enough for the traffic, because there's a junction at the end here. They're going to have to slow down or stop or whatever. They're just joining traffic coming off eastbound with traffic coming off westbound into 3 lanes. So 3 lanes coming off would be excessive. You'd have a lot to mix. 2 lanes coming off would be my preference. 1-way 2 lane, so it has parking spaces. I want to force it to not. Maybe by putting grass or trees down it. Can put trees down it, I guess. Or a sidewalk. They're not actually going to walk up it, I'm sure. Interesting. So brought it straight down to the ground in the first section and run it along the ground in the second, rather than smoothly. I think I'd rather try and redo that so that it comes down smoothly. Might not be an option. So build it myself, which I'm not going to get the right angle, I don't think. Not without guessing. I can do that and that. It's a funny kink in it, but I do prefer that a lot. Do want to get the guidelines to make an easy symmetry of it. No. Those are definitely not symmetrical. Okay, that's not gonna work, so just have it how it does it. Raising the ground up around it. I suppose I could, before building it, intentionally lower the ground there to force a bridge, because that doesn't look great. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just need the junctions on the other direction. Those are one. Ah, is that right? Yeah, I think that's just my eyes tricking me. That is in the right place. These junctions should be... I can see why I'm getting confused. It's because the highway's two roads. They're not kind of aligned to the grid. So the distance between them isn't going to fall perfectly. It should be... not sure how to build this. Like that. So that's where one block lines up. There. Go. Okay. Just realised that isn't what I was thinking of, was it? Because now we're letting traffic in and out at 2 points, which could be best, but my original thought was in one and out at the other. So that would mean removing, for example. We come in there, out there, we're just removing the middle ones. On that side, this side, this is traffic heading northbound. So this should be, yeah, outbound traffic. That should be inbound traffic. And that's not great. Looks really funny. No, I don't like that. Especially not having all of the traffic at this funny junction here. I don't like that at all. People coming off are going to get caught with people coming on. Wonder about... I don't think we need 6 lanes coming in. Like, I don't think it's that much traffic, especially if we're going to spread it around. So these being two-way roads is fine with me. That's the one, yeah. doing that would spread the traffic better and avoid having that funny junction in the middle. So this road has both inbound and outbound traffic, but the bit that goes under the bridge only needs to be 3 lanes, and those 3 lanes are all going onto the highway, so we could make the slip roads 3 lane. And then change the bit that goes under the bridge to 3 lane. Make sure they're facing the right direction. Doesn't look amazing. It looks a bit funny, really. But there's nothing kind of in between it, and I'm happy with it from a traffic flow perspective, but from the way it looks, not so much. The real way to avoid that is to move these 2 together, just have the 1 in the middle. I think that would be a much prettier junction on this road, for sure. Let's build that and see if I'm happy with how it looks. So we'd need a 2-way 6-lane road in the middle. Of course there's supports or road isn't high enough or something. Okay. No big deal. This needs to be that long. Rebuild these. Other way around. Okay. And we would have 3-lane. No. We wouldn't have 3-lane in this case because we've got... we could at this end, 3 lanes coming off into 3 lanes, but then on this side we're joining 3 lanes from the other direction. Which we could... let's just put 3 lanes in. I'm not sure they'll even use them, but... so that rock needs moving. On that. Let us put it there with that road there. Interesting. Then, yeah, back on there. Yeah. Boom. Ones, but we don't need their alignment. That creates a very pretty junction. You can use the traffic mod to control, change a few bits and pieces around how they behave around here, but I do like the way that looks. And I think, because we're going to be spreading the traffic all the way around this area, we should not have a problem feeding into it. We'll give it a go for a while. We'll build it in this kind of design and see how the traffic looks after it's been running for a while. Just checking if anyone's got any complaints. No big warning labels anywhere. Lack of raw materials, well that's a traffic issue, isn't it? Which is what we're working on. So that's fine. Let's continue the freeway up this edge. The top. That's not right. Two over two. Yeah, that's right. Then along this edge. Not sure we'll be able to put this corner in with the road there. No. That's to put one of the supports in an annoying place. It's also not where it's going to be because this run road is going to come out. It's actually going to go there. At least put the straight line down this side. Just remember to reconnect that power that I'm about to cut off. Interesting. Power pylons to go over the... Let's put the other road in and then we'll need to lift the pylons up to get them over the road. It's snapped to something I don't want it to. It's better. Okay. It's going to go up, over, back down to connect. We might redo how we connect all that. We'll need to as we tear that road out, so that's fine. They should be fine. So let's do the counter-clockwise road all the way. Should be right. Doesn't look right. No, it's not. Goes to there. This one starts there. So you can get a smooth corner between them, right? Very nice. So delivery going to turn up at a very awkward time for the stream. Never mind. So keeping that aligned is... This corner isn't right. That's probably due to the height of the hill it's on. Okay, so let's take away part of it. About half. Take that section and lower it maybe? That's a weird lump, so let's lower it one earlier. That's a bit better. We somehow smoothly... no. Let's take the corner away entirely. This road over to the right point. Height is good on it. Draw the corner from there. That looks better. Gap in the middle kind of even. Smooth enough. Height similar to the one next to it. Yeah. Happy with that. So the only bit we're missing is where this road is in the way. Okay. Also missing the bit that's going to connect the ring road to the artery. We could curve these over to join on the corners. Or we're going to need an offshoot at some point. Look at that. After we finish doing the inbound junctions. So these junctions they kind of need the 4 internal blocks, the 5 grid roads, 3 for the actual junction itself, and then empty space so it doesn't collide with the next one. Down this edge we've got possibly enough space. Put one here, one there. Of course, all the supports are going to be in the wrong place. We should be able to do that. We'll put 2 junctions on the highway quite close, but not. Well, there should be enough space between them. One here, one there. Traffic should be able to sort itself in that distance. So let's take out these pieces so we can align the supports in the right places. Did I build? Yeah, that's one. That's in line with that road. Then we need one from there. We might have a problem with this hill. Not sure how many. What is that? That's 4 units. That should be there. We are going to have a problem with that hill because this road isn't going to be high enough to go over that one. Okay, so we're going to need to do a little landscaping on this hill. Bring this just down. Move the peak over. So much that it looks unnatural, but enough that we'll reduce this problem. It should be enough. Give that a go. Units for the gap and then a block. That should be the right distance. So just want to force supports to be in the right place. Like that. Do the same here. Looking fine. Changing all that. That landscaping's made the heights of the road a bit funny, so I'm just going to reconnect that bit. It still does the same, but that's fine. All looks okay. The exit roads are 3-lane roads. 3-lane one-way roads. That one. This one is from that block. Don't think that snaps in the right place. It should be 8 little squares between where they end up. So that's there. And if we go, I reckon it's that. So it's 9. So that would be 8. 7, 8. Yeah. Let's double check I got that right. I did. And that one goes back on there. Comes off and back on. So that is that junction, correct? Other than whatever we need to fiddle with in the traffic mod, but the roads are in the correct place. This one, same, the snap's in the wrong place, looks like it. Yeah, it should be there. To there. Looks right. Okay, good. So one down this end of the road as well. Get them out of the way. I'm sure the supports are in the wrong place. Out to there, 4 units for the gap, and then one more block. Rebuild these with the supports in the right place. And get the 3-lane roads in the right place as well. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And there. That's that one good. Okay, so the next junctions to put in are on the road we can't quite do yet because of the pre-existing road. So I kind of just want to. I need to connect that road into this network, even though it's not completely ready. That's not great. Not sure how we're going to do it. We're going to have another junction at the top and the bottom of this side, so that join really needs to come in the middle. In between those two, I guess. Don't think there's any way we can... I don't think there's a good way we can use one of these junctions to join with another 2-road highway. Unless we bring inbound on the top one and outbound on the bottom one. I think that'll make traffic behave in a way that I don't want it to. I want to get it onto the ring road. So yeah, we may just have to pause things to put that in. Should be able to fill the bottom one. So let's do that. First with the 6-lane goes underneath. Rebuild the highway with the supports in the right place. 3-lane off-ramp. That one should line up with there. Come off with 8 little squares, yep. Back on. So there's that one. So yeah, we're going to want this offshoot heading towards the industrial zone lined up here in the middle. Not sure there's enough space to do a junction like that. Should be between the two. Should be. I'm more concerned about this end. We want to offshoot in that direction, but we still want to offshoot in this direction as well. I don't think there's enough space there to do 2 junctions, so it's going to be one funky looking big junction. Which scares me a bit. I have no idea what it's going to look like, but it sounds like it could be pretty cool. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to pause and demolish all this, and we'll just get to it. So this road is coming out. That didn't improve traffic flow enough. That connection is coming out. Let's get these power lines out of the way, but must not forget to reconnect them. all of those incineration plants were facing roads I've just removed, so let's turn them round before I forget. Do the job. Let's put the missing bits of road in that we couldn't before. Elevated highway here, corner. Doesn't quite look right. Maybe that internal one doesn't look quite right. 2 blocks over. Ah. Now that's interesting. Snap to line up with that road is not in line with the grid. Could it be that that bit's in the wrong place? Could be. That's better. Looks better. Hard to tell with the eyes. That doesn't quite look straight, but it's certainly close enough. Let's connect this road, so we need to clear any supports out of the way. 6-lane road comes out that far. Highway goes back over. Then some 3-lane roads come off. That, good. So that's all of the junctions that come off the ring road in place. Do need to remember to alter some of the settings with the mod. Let's take a look at that now so I don't forget it. So I want to remove any traffic lights, which have just been put in on the internal junction. Okay, I want to increase the speed limit on the off-ramps to match the highway so that people aren't slowing down there. Then that internal road should be the same speed as the grid system, which it is. So yeah, 60 through there, but 100 on the actual ramps themselves. Let's go all the way around doing them. It should mean that people don't slow down on the highway itself. Unless one of these exit roads fills up for whatever reason. Which I'm really hoping it doesn't. The last one. Okay. We need to set up priority on junctions joining. So the ring road itself is a priority and the joining people yield. The other option is, I suppose, we can ban traffic on the internal road and force everyone onto it. No, I don't think that's best. I think using the priority system is best. So every joining junction. Yeah, that way round. And every joining junction in the other direction. For leaving junctions, They don't matter priority wise. Traffic's just going to split. Junctions at the end. Have an issue if anyone comes off and wants, so comes off heading westbound to head south. They will cross traffic, which I don't want. That's not a priority issue, that's a lane connection issue. So if you're coming off, you must go into town. Right turn only. If you are coming out of town, then you can go either way. The default will be fine. 2 lanes can come this way, 2 lanes can continue to go that way. If you are coming off heading eastbound and you want to head westbound, you can use this junction to turn. That's fine. That's fine. Because it only blocks the outbound traffic, which is not what I'm currently having an issue with. If we have an issue in the future, we can change it. Currently it's the inbound that's the issue, so don't want inbound traffic using these junctions to do U-turns. Or do I? Don't think I do. They could. Not really. But from forcing inbound traffic to do their U-turns within the grid, that could be worse. Let's not. Let's just leave everything with its default settings in terms of lane connection. Then we'll see as it starts running whether it causes any flow issues around these junctions. Maybe, I mean, traffic lights might actually solve it in that particular case. We'll see in time. Okay. So I did the speed limits on the roads and I did the priority on the joining the ring road. So now we just need to connect the ring road to the artery road. Let's see, we need to have 2 highways going that direction and 2 highways coming the other direction. It's easier to do the alignment if we put one in line and one that's not aligned with the grid, but it's probably easier than trying to line the gap up with the space, I think. Not sure. Either way, this one should be on the floor. If we try, let me try. I can't easily snap that highway to it. It's only coming this far, so I could have it spaced differently, but I don't want to. So that one there, that one gap like that. They are the wrong way round. Yep. That should be eastbound and the top one should be westbound. So I've already got a junction that does the same thing up here. Turns a north-south highway into a east-west highway. This takes a lot more floor space than we have available in this cab. A lot more. That could be a problem. So what we're doing here, yeah, no, I can see it now being a problem. we're going to end up with junctions on these junctions. This road would have a connector that goes up this way, a connector that goes under and that way. This will have an off that then goes to there. And one there. So yeah, the only way to do that is to put those junctions where those ones are, which I'm not doing. So I believe that will make a mess. So the next best option is to join it to one of these. Which means some traffic will just shoot in. So someone heading for that business in the middle, who is at this junction coming in, I want them to run around the outside and come in from a different angle. My concern with joining directly onto one of these junctions is it will drive people in that entrance when they should use the next one round. One other option is to entirely replace, say, this junction, so that this one doesn't come into town at all, and then we'll join here. Or I could do the same on this one. Means the business closest, so that one for example, they can't come into town here, so they'll come in here. That does not sound like a bad thing. So let's do that. If we replace this junction, we end up with a very slight kink to do, which is going to look uglier, I think, than replacing this one and putting a neato junction in down here. Or even the top one. Putting the junction in up here, it's just then I kind of figure we're going to put more industry into this gap. So I want to do this one personally. That's, yeah. That as well, yeah. So it's going to go. I kind of want to copy exactly what I've done up here. It'll still need to be in a smaller space because this is. Four, 5, 6. That's the amount of space we've got, so it's not far off. But it does need to be in a smaller. So let's line the highway up first. To avoid that corner, I want that to be the eastbound, that to be the westbound. And to finish, ideally, one minor grid away. Which is there. It's not helpful. Oops. That's much better. Things aren't lined up, that's going to bother me, so. Everything lined up right. Okay. So we want that one to join up to the right using 3-lane road. Should be there. And this one to come off lined up on the corner to there. That's the difference between this junction and the one up here. These come off and run straight for a while before turning. So these have got more of a right angle joining there. So we need to come a bit further back to do that. But can't do that. We don't have enough space to do that on the other end of it. So that's going to be quite a sharp turn if we do it. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. That wants to be a little further away than that, I think. Like so, but obviously the other direction. Too steep. Ah, okay, that's just because it's up off the ground. So let's lift it up on the straight section. To 12 metres. It's steep, but it is the same as the others, so no big deal. That is 1, 2, 3 away. That's a round corner. And that is too close to it. Okay. Redo the corner. So it's 4 now, 6 units long. That can join. It looks tight. My only concern in that is whether it's so tight that it slows people down. It doesn't look like it should. It should be able to do 100 around there. Or close enough. I think the only reason it looks a bit funny is because the land's uneven, so actually happy with that. Need to do the same the other side. Feel like I'm missing something here. Only tunnels. Because of that other junction, the other road is elevated. This road can't be elevated unless it goes even higher. But it can run on the ground because that one's not. They can just run under here. Okay. Interesting. We will work all this out. So let's mirror this and then reverse the direction of it. This comes off here. Steps up to 12 meters. Takes a corner that was 6 units long. And joins up in line. Reverse the direction. That is a mirror of the one next to it. It's a bit funny, but it's cool. It's cool. Now, can we run the highway itself all the way over to We need to turn it into the 3-lane road first at this point, I think. Like we have on the other junction. Do kind of want a smooth corner around so that I think can go forward a little. Oh no, let's take a straight section forward. Well, we need to just remove all this for now to make it easy to work, and then we'll put it back after. One more forward. I kind of want to do the turn straight away. We want it to be 4 units to get to there, and then 6 units to make it an equal. So that is 10 units. That ends the corner at the same place it's ended on the other side. The only issue is we can't then join with a smooth angle like that. Further away as well, which I wasn't expecting. So that one's more like there. Can we work the other way around? Come off here. That distance is what I want to know. It's 4 units away, which is there. That is a mirror of that. Getting that down to the ground is awkward. Do it with the right angle, but that will definitely slow people down. Which I don't want. I want it to be smoother. It can on the right side, we can come one over to the left side where it will then hit the corner. If we move this entire junction 1 to the right, then it can't take longer because it will collide with that one. 4 units up, it's there. Half a step. That's a smooth corner coming round. Not perfectly smooth, but actually looking at that, I'm pretty sure they'd need to slow down for that. That's not going to work. So let's stop trying to squeeze it and move it up to the next junction instead. We want a smooth corner here in the right spot here to end up 4 units away on this side. There. Doesn't look like we can do that smoothly, there's no snapping point. That one looks... Oh, there's a funny thing there, but okay. Fix that later. Is that... That is not a straight line, so no, that's no good. Put more of this in, change whether it snaps. Can do, but it's still not going to snap in the right place. Might be because that's in a funny place. Guess it's the angle that's not really lined up with the grid. Might be the angle that the roads are there. I don't think there's a method I can just grab all this, copy it and flip it. That would be helpful. Let's try a different approach, I guess. Start it from up here. See where we get to. units away and then doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. What's that? How far's that distance? 6 units. 6 units along and 4 units away. Join that to there. Then we want to take the remainder of that distance to step it up and bring it down to the ground, whichever one it is. That creates a very severe ramp. Wow. That just puts a random dip in it as well. Use the tool will let me lift it. No, it won't. Tool. Let me just redo that. The other thing I haven't considered, that I've just realised, is I'm trying to connect the westbound to the northbound, and that's the wrong one. They need to crisscross. Which is concerning. This one is going in that direction. Smooth enough corner down there. Then we've got 2 whole blocks to lift up to the right height, which is 12 metres. Rather doing 2 steps, 6 metres there, 12 metres there. And we want to join that to there, which creates a funny dip in the road. There we go. Won't let me turn that road around. Interesting. I'll just redo the corner from the other direction now that vaguely got it lined up. Yeah, that's fine. Just create a weird... yeah, okay. Easier to take that out. I'll redo it all. Over the 10, there we go. Then connect them up, okay. So that is acceptable. Junction here's a bit funny, but it'll function, I'm sure, from an AI perspective. So the other one needs to crisscross. Can't go up because the ring road's going to be there, so it needs to go into a tunnel. 12 metres down quite sharply. Then a corner that is 10 units round. Then back up to the surface and higher. This is not great. Not got the snap for the inside of this curve. Not giving me the snap I want. Unless it's that. Oh, it is that. That is the snap I want. Really wants to snap to there. Let's say that's fine. Okay. That does the job. Crisscrosses the roads. Raises back up and then it joins. In a very smooth manner. Could join it on the corner, which is something I don't think you see in the real world. For obvious reasons, visibility is not as good on corners. But even that's not... I mean, it's something. And the distance between those is less than a block. Whereas these have got a full block. Kind of rather they rejoined on the corner. Let's have a look at it. They went from the 6 up to the 12 and joined. That is very ugly. Create a bit of a corner. Then join. Chip. Won't do smoothly. That gives a full block of distance. That does not look pretty. The other options that remain are to move the whole junction over. It would mean cutting the distance here, which makes it ugly. Around this corner. No, that's the... Yeah, I didn't want to snap earlier. That's the earliest it could join. It's not... Should be enough distance for things to change lane without causing major issues. The issue is people... So they're coming on the ring road and want to come off of this junction while there are people joining. Significant amount of traffic joining that will want to cross them. So the other option is that there is no clockwise joining. You have to join counterclockwise and turn around. That sounds like a bad idea. Sound like a bad idea. I can move the entire ring road out, giving it more space to join. We could have the one joining this side, or have the one on the other side be the tunnel, because it's got more distance to go. That's an option, so let's tear it all down. I'll leave that there because that's in the correct place. So this one is not going to tunnel now. Bring it forward, not that far. Forward 8, 10 unit corner. Up 6 meters and then join. That's the earliest it will let us, which is close to the snap point. That is preferred, but not ideal. I want it to join at the snap point, so shorten the distance that it's going up in. Let's do that in 5 units and then join. That creates a funny ramp. Possibly improve that by doing a bit of landscaping. Don't think we can. Can't particularly do it when the road is there. So we could go up as we go round. Let's try that. Let's add a bit of height here. Not quite that much. I mean, in the real world, I would not want to join this at this angle. No visibility of what's on there. What if we do a corner from here? It's 10 units and it goes up to 12 meters. That is ugly. Put a bit of straight road in. Something to work with. Cannot easily find the halfway point. Move this. Put the corner in elevated. That's looking pretty good. We could do that, get to 6 meters before this point. Just let's turn around, sorry. Get to 6 meters on the straight, then go up to 12 meters on the curve. That might be too early. Don't think we can get that highway over the top. No, unless we send the highway up. Which we can do. We can send the highway to 18 meters up and over the top. Because that makes a much nicer smooth curve around this corner. Which I like. That ends there. And we've got plenty of distance to join at the right point there. Still terrible visibility, but it's not the real world, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's say we do that. So the other side can then mirror that by going 8 units forward and can't go 6 meters down? No, 12 is a minimum. Right. Well, fine then. Corner of 10 units. And a straight road that joins these. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. Down round a corner, little flat section, and then that really funny dip in the road, yeah. Never mind. So all we need to do now is sort out these bits. We need the highway to go up. Yeah, send it up in line with there. We'll go 18 meters high. Not happy about that. Is that still not high enough? It's high enough because it'll let me do it to there. Gradually drop back down. Fine. I mean, not perfectly symmetrical, but takes it up and over. Ah. Won't let us rebuild that junction on the... Oh, we'll do. Just have to do it that way around. Oh, that makes another funny dip. Fine. It's very much not ideal, not symmetrical, because this comes off here in order to get under the ground. That one rejoins there. It's nowhere near as pretty as the one I did this end. Which is a shame. Gets the job done. The only other option is to take out this entrance as well. Tempted to do. We take out that entrance to the grid, move this over to the middle. Or perhaps, because it's not a square, we put it all back in and have our joining junction be one of the ends, the short ends. Do it on the bottom one. Could do it on the bottom one. Still got space to expand at the top, or we put it at the top one. Then if we do another industrial area, we just need to have the same. No. Let's do it on the bottom one. Don't know how long I've just wasted building this junction, only to tear the whole thing down, but it's, actually really do enjoy this, so I hope if you're watching you enjoy it too. Building and rebuilding the same roads. Okay. Need to redo that as well. Put in the simple junction in here that comes into town, which was 2 blocks, 4 units and 1 more. Then need to join up with the 3-lane. So it's from there to, yeah, that one, to there. It's done the wrong angle because it's not got an extra little bit of road. It's better. Rebuild these properly, they don't need to go up to 18 meters anymore. Just need to get the supports in the right place over that road. Shifted. There we go. So that's that junction. Happy again. Just need to use the mod. Has it given us, yeah, traffic light? And speed limit of 100 on these ones. Fine, still okay. And that needs its priority setting again. Good. Okay. Do I have enough space? I mean, I've got a square that I can buy, so if we don't have enough space to do it in this gap, I can buy the space beneath it, extend it into. It's going to be a close one. I don't think we'll get a smooth corner coming out, but let's do it and have a look. Okay. Kind of nice to have it central. Point of the symmetry, so let's... The gap in between is not a full square. 4-unit road gets between the two. So what does a 4-unit road look like? Like that. One of the highways is on that line to build in. The other is on that line. Okay. Distance to there is to there. Which way round is it? So the right hand road is northbound. That's all correct. Redo these. Like that. There we go, that's a proper bit. That's possibly too close. Let's add another one in just in case. So that's one block away. But yes, the first joining road comes from another block back. Straight, then goes for it. No, we don't have enough space to make it exactly the same as the one up there. That would be coming off here. No, not that far away though, is it? It's 5 units. We're turning a corner. To go up first. That needs to go up. Going to be easy to do. Too bad. Then the straight won't let us do it. Not sure why. Can if we do it as a corner. Not. It was blue for a second there. Just try it at the next junction. No. Needs to be a tighter turn, okay. That's the point. Ideally do that in a half of, which is there. Join those up. could raise up even slower over that distance. See what that looks like. Even do a smoother corner. If it's 6 units, so if I take a straight road forward 6 units, which it's not snapping up right. Units. Won't let me do one more, will it? One there, forward 5 is to there. No, I want to go forward 6. So one more unit. Out 5. That's 6 units forward. Should then be able to do a 10 unit curve. Unit distances. Redo that as well then. Want to go. Sure what we want actually. It's not ideal where we are now. Do with being lined up there. Good 12 unit curve. Or just add a 3 units. Flat 6. No, I'm thinking 5 units up to 6 meters, and then up to 12 in the next. Joining there. Not really. Oops. Why not try a 10 unit corner that goes up to 6 meters high, and then over the next 13 units go up to 12 meters high, and then join. Yeah, nicer. Kind of. Only a bit of the corner that it's actually gone up at. No, I think going up first was the prettiest option. So from here, up 6 meters. What about a corner that goes up to the 12? How would that look? Much nicer. This little hill that we're doing it on is a bit funny, so going downhill to go uphill, but that's a nice smooth corner before joining the ring road. Let's do exactly the same on the other side somehow. This one should come out 5 units without going up yet. That joins it. Then it's 6 units forward up to 6 meters. 10 unit corner up to 12 meters. Straight road until halfway through that block. Then join there. Make sure it's running the right direction. Take out that spacer. There we have it. Doesn't look like a It's because the ground is uneven, so it doesn't look lined up, even though it is. Okay, next step is the ones on the other side, then the more difficult ones, because they need to crisscross. So one option is to run one at ground level. Yeah, that's fine, because we've given ourselves more room to play with. We can run one at ground level and one in the tunnel. So let's, I mean, what did we do up here? The northbound heading westbound is going to go on the ground. Smooth corner, I mean, we could just do... On the other side we're going to need a tunnel, so let's get all this out of the way. Need a straight section, which could be 10 units, that's fine. Then a corner. Ideally we want to maintain that distance. What is that? That's 4 units. 4 units away from that one, and therefore, so 8 unit corner. Followed by 14 units straight to get to the next block. Half a block up to 12 meters. That's not ideal. But it is okay. That bit's at 12 meters. We could come back to the corner. So the other one's going to need to come out of the tunnel, which we want to give some distance for. What's that total distance? 24. So let's say we do 8 out of the tunnel, 8 up to 6 meters, and 8 up to 12. It's a bit smoother on this side. The other direction's going to be that same straight distance into a tunnel. An 8 unit corner in the tunnel. An 8 unit back to ground level. Can't do it because we're on a slope. That's annoying slope. Okay. And that being the case, we just have to flip them around, don't we? Tunnel needs to go westbound. Ground one needs to go eastbound. So this way is 10 units into the tunnel. An 8 unit corner. 8 units out of the tunnel, 8 units up to 6 meters, 8 units up to 12 meters, and join. Perfect. The other direction is 10 units on the ground, an 8 unit corner, 8 units on the ground, 8 units up to 6 meters, 8 units up to 12 meters, then join and make sure it's going the right direction. Okay. All fine, just going to rebuild the highway that we took out. The what do they call the supports in the right place? There. There. There we go. Okay. So that's all good. That's northbound can head either eastbound or westbound. Southbound can come from either eastbound or westbound. Everything's neat and tidy, symmetrical, smooth. It's Just need to use the mod, check if any traffic lights have appeared in random places. No. Good. And set the speed limit on the slip roads to 100. So people don't slow down at all, hopefully, if the corners are smooth enough. Slip road there. Seems right. Okay. So then all we need to do is join the north-south here to the north-south over here. Which I don't particularly want to do at this junction. I've found this four-way junction to be too busy. So we kind of want to do a similar junction to this one down here, which is definitely not going to fit. I think buying that square is going to be... no, that's no good either. That square doesn't give us access to this road in the next square over. We'd need both. Rejoin, add the bridge over the river. So we can't do that. Let's see. Let's give my brain a break. That'd be a sensible thing, I think. Just hit AFK for 2-3 minutes, stretch my legs a bit, top the drink up, give my brain a small break, and then when I come back we'll look at how we join our new junction at the bottom of the industrial ring road into our main artery road. So, just back in 2 minutes. Okay, back from a little walk around. Let's continue solving our road problem. Gonna need to turn it round, so let's do the corner here. both of those are away. There we go. Just double check no traffic lights appeared. No, good. Okay. So we don't really have the option of changing the bottom of this road at the moment. I can only buy one square, I think. Does it tell me? Doesn't tell me how many I can buy. I think I've only got one. If I buy the one on the right, it doesn't help. It's just that road is going through exactly the wrong spot for us, which is very helpful. Okay, that's fine. Really want to do a junction the same as this type of thing down here. I mean, I know you can do it in a tighter space. There's a pre-existing one here. What I don't like about it is that the crossover road's a single lane. That might be fine, it's just... It might be fine, especially if they're all going at 100 miles an hour, but when you've got that much traffic, I don't think it can fit through one lane. Here we've done it with 3. And they're only using 1. Which is interesting. This takes a little less space than the one I made. It will fit down here, plus a corner to turn it round. I would kind of rather make my own, with the 3-lane roads joining it and everything like that, which we can do. Just need to put it as low down as we can. Then I guess we move it later when we can buy both squares. Because otherwise we're just going to make a really weird angle onto the road down here. So yeah, we'll put it in here for now, and then when I can buy another square, we'll get the 2 down here, and we'll tidy the whole thing up. Not sure how far away we are from another square. Can I check that? Let's have a look. So we just got Grand City before I paused. Next is Capital City. We'll get another square then. It's 36,000, which is more than another 50% of what we've got. Not sure. We should be able to fit that into our current layout. We should be able to. Then we get ships. That's... I don't think we're going to connect that anywhere with our current. So if we've got those squares, as the river widens out down there, be something to be done with that. I'm not sure if you can run ships down a river and also dam it for electric power. Right, so this is where this highway turns into the weird bit that is pre-built. So if we take a section out, line the ends up, that's where our end is going to start, or the start of this junction will be on that end. The space we need, let's try and make it the same as the one up here. If we can, let's have a look. This runs from there to there. So that is 80 units across and 49 up. Have we got 49 of space to do this in? Probably. It's going to be about here, and then that will need to turn a corner round. Can go under there, so yes, 80 across. pretty far across. Make it interesting how we then join it into the other side. Can make one big interlocking four-way thing. Still like the idea. Just going to have to take a lot more of this out to work with it. Okay, so what do we need? On the edge we need to start working with the 3-lane road again. That distance is 5 units away. So it's at 10. 10 units across, 5 units away. Oh no, it's not. You do need the highway there to make it do the curve off the highway. Like so. And this is the tunnelling one. Been a mistake. Let's put a spacer in there so I can see. This goes down 12 metres over 10 units. Then forward 7 units before doing a corner, or that might be part of the corner. Tunnel down for 10 units. They're telling us if we try and build one. So if we said there, 20 unit corner. Yeah, so there is a small straight section for 7 units. Down into the tunnel. At that point there's a 7 unit. Can't do it with the spacer then. From that point there's 7 units straight. Lick your wings like so. Has that left the right distance? That might have been a silly one. There to there, 10 units, there to there, 7, that's perfect. So now is a 20 unit corner. So, followed by seven units straight. And a 12 unit return to the surface. Interesting, okay. 7 units straight. 12 units to the surface. And that is a 10 unit join onto a highway. Highway which is 5 units away. Yeah. So let's put the 5 unit spacer in. We can run the highway 90 degrees. Snap too far, but okay. It's 12, so another 8 units. That's a grid. Then this side is where we join. It's become 11 units. Why would it do that? It used to be 10. 10 units to there and 12 units to there. Yep, good. That is correct, except this is wrong. What's wrong? That's the east. That should be westbound. Right, top one is westbound, bottom one is eastbound. That one in as well, just to help. Okay. So now we need to put the flyover. It's all the same dimensions, just up instead of down. Should be all the same dimensions. So yeah, 5 units away. From there to there. Shouldn't have removed that. Gives the right angle that I need. So that was 12 units, up to 12 meters then. Followed by 7 unit flat. 20 unit corner. I need to move the supports on that road to get the highway underneath it. 20 unit corner followed by 7 unit flat. 10 unit back to the surface. 10 unit joining. That should be the same distance. Yeah, looks right. Looks right. I mean, it should be, what was it, 80 units? Yeah, spot on. Great, okay, so let's move that support to be in the middle of the carriageway. That should work. Reconnect that. Then we can reconnect the other direction as well. So all that remains is this corner in the middle. So the highway heading the other direction should be here. 20 units away. Which is there. 20 units, yeah, okay. Then what do we do? That just seems to be a corner and then join, so just a 17 unit corner? Yeah, 17 unit corner, okay. How far is the actual join itself? There to there, 8 units. Yep, 8 units, okay. Won't let us do it. Interesting. All this end. Well, if we can't, then we can't. Try a 9 unit. It'll let us do that. So that'll just have to be the case down here. At least the one down here is symmetrical. Okay, so that does all of the directions for this junction itself. Need to use the traffic mod. Check if any traffic lights have appeared where they shouldn't. No. We want to... don't think we want to set priorities. Did I do that at the other end? I did. Okay. kind of want to force them to merge, but I just don't know if the AI will. Like, will these ones move over to let people in? If they're a priority, they don't need to do it. Well, why don't we leave priorities on this junction and leave them off at the bottom one, and then we'll see what difference we get. Speed limits we need to do. These 3-lane roads kind of behave as if they were part of the highway, say 100 kilometers an hour. That should be all of them. Should be all we need to do. Okay, so now we just need to connect these two roads together. No junctions to go on them. I would like to start this corner earlier. Let's get the highway. Do this corner as the 20 unit. Does that let us fit this one? I'll get a snap point for it. Should it be 24? Is that right? We could do it if we move that support out of the way. Can make a tighter corner. I'm not sure at what point they slow down. 20 unit corner is more than enough, so it could make it a bit less. Just going to have to move that corner to that support to perhaps somewhere that doesn't look so right. Let's have a look at it. If we move it all the way up there, unit corner, which looks good, other than that one should be going that way. That I realised. Okay, so there we can get it under the road surface and not touching the road beneath. Maybe even a bit further. There, that looks fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So now just some straight sections. Bring these closer together. Corners down here, so we're going to want to be, again, 20 units on the internal one. Means finishing there. That. 20 unit corner from there. Reconnect these. That to line up with that one, I think. Then do our 24 unit corner. Yeah. Reconnect that with a straight section. Good. Not the most direct route, I guess. Some wasted time, perhaps. You could have made something messier that just jumped that gap quickly. I think this will keep traffic flowing better, which is my main concern at the moment. So that's connected. We need power, or we need to connect those roads just to keep people flowing for the time being. Then we'll gut that out when these things are all in the right place. Power connection. I also want the services that head. So that's a concern. Is the incinerators need to send their trucks over to the residential area? They've now got a much longer route to take. If you want to minimise that, which is, might just build a separate area. Once we've done this junction, there'll be a little offshoot where we put the incinerators. Could even just put a road that, like a tunnel, that is garbage truck only. I kind of like that idea. Why don't we do that? If those two roads line up, we'll just put like a 2-lane road between them that's garbage truck only, and put the incinerators at the top. Let's see, 2-lane. As well. Oh no, we don't. I don't want to put sidewalk on it. I don't want people to walk down it. I want to make sure they do not walk down it. They do line up. That's good. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna head underground here. Way over. Head underground there as well. There we go. It does add a... actually... Do we want to connect to the other end because that's a one-way bridge heading northbound? Doesn't matter. We've got quite a lot of traffic is all I was thinking, so actually with the number of garbage trucks that we're going to have, 2-lane probably won't be enough, so a 4-lane would... like that would be my preference. Not worry about that junction yet. That might become an issue. Because there are a lot of trucks. We've got 6 incinerators running, and I think even that's... Oh no, that's more than we need now. Now that we've disposed of everything we needed to dispose of out of landfill back up. How many do we actually need? We're producing about 180 units. And they go through 48 each, so we need 4 of them, 5 to be safe. I think that means we can demolish one of them. This could cause a... We've been paused all this time and I've finally run out of money. Okay, we'll move the next one after we've got a bit of cash. We could have a traffic problem keeping them all in one row there, so we might need to spread them out a bit. The other services might need moving, but we'll need to unpause and get some more money. But before we do that, we do need to reconnect the power. Why don't we run power alongside this tunnel? Put that there and then rebuild it up high enough to get over. There we go, so there's a power connection. Just build that up to make sure it's in that blue area. So we'll take this lot away. that connection unnecessary as well now. It's tidied up a bit. I think we can unpause. We have a connection to everywhere. Ah, no, one last thing. To actually use the mod to restrict the vehicles. Vehicle restriction. This road. All lanes. Garbage truck only. Ooh, actually, let's let emergency vehicles through as well. That seems sensible. Is there any way... There, restrictions to whole road. Perfect. Now we can unpause. And see what disaster we've caused with our roadworks. We will need to revisit the bus routes, especially the one that comes between the two areas. Maybe we'll have a dedicated bus lane as well that avoids the freeway and the ring road. That could be good. I mean, there's 4 lanes on here. It's probably okay to send the buses down there as well. Let's do that, and then we can look at the routes after everything's settled down a little. Vehicle restrictions. Let's permit. That looks like a... That's bus, I think. Car, bus, taxi, truck, garbage truck and emergency vehicle. Let's do that. Traffic is moving. You can still see a lot of trucks around. None of the junctions are backing up so far. This one's very active. Present, no one is using the top one. I'm not sure they will. This one's probably going to use this junction by heading that way. But that's okay. We will likely have another connection in at the top based on what we build in the space up there, I would guess. Okay. So yeah, complaining about the garbage, that's probably going to settle down, I hope, with some time. Let's move that last incineration plant with its friends. It should balance out over time, and they'll be okay. This is probably the furthest distance they have to go, because that's a one-way bridge, they have to go over the next one. So what's the problem here? Problem is they put traffic lights on that junction. And a few others that I haven't removed. Okay. Good that I spotted that. We can go through, remove all the traffic lights. Do you think sometimes when the game loads it re-enables some of these traffic lights that I've previously disabled? Well, those ones I've definitely previously disabled. I've not changed anything over this side, so they should not have come back on. Yeah, might need to remember that every time I load the game. I need to check the traffic lights. I'll go check over the industrial side as well in a minute. I think we've disabled everything here. That one, obviously that's new. Now the others all look fine. Okay. All good. It's flowing very nicely from the looks of it. Bit of a jam there as they filter in. It's really this. They're always using that outside lane as well. It does make me think that having the single lane would be fine. Don't need a 3-lane slip road. How does it look at this end? At this end we set a priority so they can't join, they can't force their way on. That leads to a tailback down the tunnel. Whereas what we could have is we force the joining road to go into the inside lane and we push the traffic out of the inside lane by banning it from that lane. Should force it to flow better. Just seems a bit unnecessary. Like, why doesn't this traffic move over? It's got 2 empty lanes. And then if we're forcing all the joining traffic into the inside lane, why have we got 3 lanes? Let's try that method down here and we can compare again. Here does seem to flow better than the other one, so having the priority setting is perhaps not the right option. But you still get this kind of slowdown when they're trying to merge, even though there's 4 clear lanes at that junction. So let's see what we can do. We can use the lane connector first. That lane is going to go into that lane. That lane is going to go into that lane. Should be that simple. That's forcing these guys to move over, which means that lane can drive free the whole way. If someone wanted to come down the middle lane, they could join the next one over, but it looks like the AI just doesn't function like that. So as much as in a real world scenario I might want these extra lanes joining for flow reasons, the AI is not going to play with that. That is flowing much better. So let's do the same at the other 2 joining points. This is a joining, so that lane is going there. That one has to move over. And this one the same. That one's going onto the inside, so that one has to move over. Do the same up at this junction as well. So that one's going to move over. That one's going to take the inside. Same on the eastbound and on the westbound. I tried to do it differently before down here, using traffic ban here, just banning the traffic from the inside. It's unnecessary. Allow all and apply that to the whole road. Still got the inside there, focusing on getting the buses off. Doesn't hurt, I don't think, until I'm not sure the buses are even using that road at the moment, but we shall see about that. What on earth is happening here? Just a large volume of traffic heading westbound that actually wants to be going eastbound. Bit weird. Doing it there instead of in these sections. We'll look at that in a bit. Want to use the lane connecting method that we've just used to force that traffic out of the way. So ideally don't want people parking on that little bit, so let's turn that into a One with trees on. Okay. Junction that I see as being the biggest potential issue seems to be flowing nicely. Ring road in general is flowing nicely. One guy is using the top, isn't that nice? Very happy with that. It's taken us a couple of hours, but built in a very nice ring road system to alleviate traffic in the industrial area. We've just got this silly junction here that needs sorting out. My general idea would be to take essentially the same as what we've got here and put it in there, and where this road and the mirrored road line up, we'll need to do something so the traffic that's going directly between the two isn't unnecessarily joining the artery road. I've got a vague picture in my head of what it should look like. Not entirely sure how we're going to do it. This distance between the residential and the junction doesn't look long enough to do this too. So it might be that we can't. How far was that distance? There to there, it's 48 units. So if we had a little gap here, let's say 10 units is about there, and 48 is just about fine. Yeah, that will be fine. What is going on? So we've got a lot of traffic coming down southbound, coming off to head eastbound. They should use this part of the cloverleaf. Turns out a lot of them are just trying to head southbound, coming off unnecessarily. Not sure I'm ever going to understand the traffic AI. Might need to be saving up a bit more cash before, because I'm going to want to pause again to build this junction in. We burnt through all of our reserves last time. We're building a lot less this time, but if I end up fiddling around a lot, it could be an issue. So let's save up for a while and then we'll attack this junction. Those guys heading southbound, they should be using the cloverleaf as well. Flow faster. Well, they'll then run into each other, but still. Weird behaviour. How are we doing for? So power is positive. Water is good. Sewerage is close but fine. Garbage processing is how it should be. Healthcare is available everywhere, even though average health is quite low. Fire coverage is reasonably good. Crime is good. Education availability is, we need another high school and another university. Okay, that will be an interesting challenge. Well, probably I would replace our library with the university so that it is mirrored properly. Interesting. The bus routes. The buses are taking the road. Oh, I did let them through, didn't I? Yeah, good. Okay. So the blue route that connects the northern residential to the industrial is taking the dedicated road. The green route is not. It's going into the industrial area through the dedicated road and then coming out on the ring road, which is interesting. Don't think you can set waypoints. I'd have to set another stop to get it to do something different. That's not... I mean, if it thinks that's the fastest route and there's no traffic issues, then that's fine. The metro route is quite basic. We will need to expand that too at some point. Be an interesting one. I don't know whether to put a metro in the industrial area as well. Maybe do away with buses entirely. It takes a lot of traffic off the road if we use a metro trains instead. It's more expensive. To get the same coverage, we'd need quite a lot of metro stops. Could be okay though. Parks I know are a bit of an issue. I do kind of want to put some around the edge of town and in the gap made by removing the cemeteries. I haven't looked at unique buildings in ages. We've got a winter market unlocked. It's got a big area of effect. We can put one of those at the top quite happily. Launch site is not unlocked. That's just a population unlock. Stadium does not seem worth putting in. Bigger industry zones to get that statue. Got the Statue of Wealth unlocked, that's cool. Don't want to intentionally drop our health. Sounds like, you know, something you do in a fun run, whereas this is... I'm still learning the game, the first real run I've got this far in. Fill 3 cemeteries. We didn't quite do that before I dismantled them all. It's interesting. That unlocks fusion power. Obviously residential zone like the industrial one. Transport tower. Office building requirement for space elevator. Okay. Pile up lots of rubbish everywhere to unlock a mall. Cool. Reduce taxes, I think they're currently above 4. Interesting how those kind of things are necessary for some scientific buildings. Increased education expense, build a lot more office. We've got very little office at the moment. Increase the crime. Airport, not unlocked that yet, that's for sure. Airport, then we could put a Grand Mall in. It's interesting, we might do a little square outside of town somewhere for all that. You know, like shopping malls and other tourist destinations. A lot of different unique buildings to unlock. Some of them will kind of get naturally as we expand everything over the space we've got, but some of it you do definitely need to do specifically. I could do an expo centre, that'd be a cool thing to put out of town. Top end, cathedral, different type of stadium. Okay, not a football stadium, but sports ground. That one might be cool to have. Or an art museum. So get our education up. 25% education already is more than I thought we'd have, just from the single university. Okay, there's nothing that I particularly want to put into place now, but it's interesting to know what kind of things we might unlock. There's a power supply issue. Wind must have dropped. So now we have the choice to dam the river. Potentially get up to 1600 megawatts. It seems kind of worth it. It's the same as 10 max power solar power plants. Okay. Which is going to cost to build. We can probably afford to build it, but 3,200 a week is a lot of upkeep. It's a lot of power. We will be removing a lot of wind turbines, reducing their upkeep significantly because we've got a lot of them built. Let's put in a save point that is specifically before the dam. Then, so my assumption is we want to draw water in upriver of the dam, where the reservoir will be. We want to push sewage out below the dam to make sure that it flows away. So it'd be kind of cool to replace this bridge with a dam, with a road over it. I think the dam isn't wide enough for 2 highway lanes, so it's a bit of a shame. It'd be kind of cool to have it there. Let's put it down here where the electrical lines already are. So looking at the contour lines of the land, if I put it too high up, the reservoir will flood over what's back here. So kind of want it below that major line, or up to. If we put it at that major line, water won't flow over it. So that's kind of there. Over to here. Estimated production 96 megawatts. That is not a lot for something that's so expensive. So if we build it higher up, does it increases it, but not much. Presumably lower down is, yeah, 16 megawatts. Okay. Further upriver, not really any different. So it really wants a much bigger reservoir behind it, unless that the estimated production could be based on the current river flow, which is going to change when the reservoir is behind the dam. It's the point of the dam. I still want to build one and see what happens, but if we're spending this much money on so little power, we will reload the save and build solar instead. I really don't want to flood the town, so don't want to. That bridge can be rebuilt higher, so that's not an issue. It's kind of this road and those few buildings on the edge there that are the biggest concern. So let's go down here just above that line. It's about there. What angle do we want? Probably that kind of angle. Okay. Unpause and see what happens. Assuming that it takes some time to settle the river down and stuff. It's not going to immediately make sense. So there we can see the reservoir building behind. The river flow in front is dropping, so we might need to move these buildings down if they stop working. Oh, the flow has really dropped. Look at the terraforming tools in case I need to quickly put a riverbank in place. Yes, I could have terraformed it before, or even now we could terraform a deeper river bed to get more water into the reservoir. Looks like bridge is about to flood. It's very close. I think if it rains it will. We'll definitely need to lift that up. Downriver flow is okay. But they don't actually need to be in the water, they're creating their own, okay. It's dangerously close. Water source pumps are definitely going to need moving. Tension issue up there. Okay, no disasters yet. A few power poles I'd like to move so they're not sunk in water. That bridge is now flooded. Let's pause and deal with that. In fact, let's deal with all of these little bits. Power or internal. We can't, there's no blue zone coming over the road. So take this up and closer to the town. Across that corner. Move these up the riverbank a little. Tidy up the pipes. Make sure that, yeah, electric needs to join there as well. Okay. Back a little ways so we can tolerate this highway to there, and then that doesn't really look high enough. Looks quite close. Can I send it up? Yeah, so it's 6 meters above where it thinks it should be. The same on this side. Up 6 meters all the way over. Then rejoin. Still wouldn't fit a boat underneath. There we go. And that traffic really is flowing now. It's great to see. Still just as many, but that junction really needs sorting, but yeah. So its estimated 96 megawatts is what it is producing. Nowhere near the maximum potential of 1600. That is, I mean, it's not worth the cost of building it, it's not worth the cost of moving that bridge. Flow just too slow, perhaps? Cause any flooding issues in sections of the map we can't reach. Doesn't look like it. I think it's kind of settled how it is now. the right height behind the dam. It's just if it rains that things all change. It's making some steeper riverbanks. That is all fine. The same on this side. Don't really know. Might have to do some off-stream research of maximising the potential of hydroelectric power. At the moment it looks like some of the rivers formed an eddy or is flowing backwards, which is obviously not good. Maybe it's just still taking time to balance the upstream part. Oh yeah, that's rising. How much of an issue that's going to cause me. I don't want to spend one of my credits buying this section just to get that bridge out of the water. Hopefully the levels don't come all the way back here, flood out the rest of the map. Interesting for sure. I like how it's actually bothered with the water physics. Yeah, something's not right with the flow. See that because there's no arrows on the river at all now. Ah, there they are. You have to select one of them. Yeah, those are... The water's not flowing through. It's still settling the reservoir level. It has now flooded out that road. All those poor trucks going to come down to the dam. Okay, that's beyond our control. At the moment, I can buy that square and bring it into our control. Just kind of rather not. Spot here that looks like it could become an issue at some point. Just have to be patient, I suppose. Let this settle down, see what we get after the water starts flowing properly. Oh, it's breaking that bank. So lowering that edge isn't going to help much more. We need to raise this. The whole river might flood into our map at that low point. We may need to buy that square. All the traffic that was taking that bridge is now diverted down through the middle of our town, which is not good. Oh, there it is. Yep. I have to build a very ugly ridge along the edge here. Evidently big consequences to damming a river. Who would have known? But we've still got the sinkholes I put in last time we had a flooding issue, so That water shouldn't make it to town. To get foggy, hard to see what's going on now. Yeah, we have a big issue up here. It's okay, like we can smooth all these banks out, make them look better at some point, as it's still possible. This is a section we can't do anything about where we've already got the buildings. I mean, we can dismantle them, raise the ground and rebuild them higher, but I would want to see a lot of electricity to make it worth that effort. Okay. Still need to be concerned about what happens when it rains next. Bridge is looking okay, that's fine. So what have we got going on up here? Probably part of the map that we can't build on. Just going to have to build a long ridge all the way across our boundary line. Okay. No issue there at the minute. Definitely have an issue there if it rains. Or the river flow increases for any other reason that I'm not aware of. We need to buy that and build over. Which is fine, because I was only thinking of using those tokens to tidy up the road down here by moving that south and in a straight line, and it's not quite so important as preventing the entire town from flooding, so we could buy that square and sort that bridge out. Now the flow in the actual our bit of the river next to our town is looking good. Production now, it's up to 128. Still quite small, it's not... We want to narrow the banks. Because as the water's reaching here, it's slowing right down. It shouldn't be. The weight of the reservoir water should push it through. If you narrow the banks, you'll get bigger arrows like we have afterwards. But it will obviously push that water further upstream, so we might want to buy this, build out a bigger reservoir, narrow the banks coming through, possibly. Still got the save I can go back to before I damned it in the first place. So we've got to work a lot of work ahead to optimize it, so I will need to do some off-stream research on how to get the best throughput on the dam. Still going up, 160 now. If we can get it up high enough, then it'll be worth keeping the dam, that's for sure. If we can get it even to half of the maximum potential, it'll be well worth it. So for now we will continue playing on the main save will be with the dam. I don't think I want to tackle any more of that today, just a few minutes before I'll be calling it the end of the stream. So can we just play till 1 o'clock GMT on the morning streams? See, that tunnel hasn't flooded, which is good. It's all flowing fine, it's just the increased traffic from them not being able to cut across the top that's now an issue. Interesting. Good, I'm enjoying playing cities. It's wasn't sure that I would, because I've tried to play it a few times in the past and not really got into it, but gone further into the game now, and it is fun, that's for sure. I enjoy building road structures and even zoning out everything. As long as I can keep everything in nice neat squares, I think I'll be happy. Quite high demand now for industry, so we will need to look quite soon at putting more industry in at this northwestern section of our property. I'm sure will be fun. Won't be able to focus it on anything, so this is oil focused industry. That'll just have to be generic stuff, unless we built a tiny little bit up here where we got the fertile land for agricultural industry. Could do that if it doesn't all flood. Interesting. Though, so cities will certainly continue. I'm not sure if morning streams will. They're nowhere near as much interest in morning streams as there has been in afternoon and evening ones, so it doesn't really make sense for me to be streaming at hours when people aren't interested in watching. So I imagine that next week I will be moving cities into a later time slot, perhaps starting at the same time that we do the Factorio streams, maybe starting at 1 PM instead of finishing. And then yesterday's experience doing 4-hour stream was actually quite positive. It, extra hour did kind of seem worth sticking with, so got some work to do this week, working out what next week's schedule will be, but it will definitely be different to this week's, that's for sure. I'm very happy with this road we put in today. This junction obviously is a right mess now. That needs sorting out. That'll be one of the first things we do next. The traffic coming in to the industrial zone, I mean, there's still a lot of it. That slip road is getting full, but it's not causing a tailback. Ah, just as I say that, it causes a tailback. Interesting. Ah, we also, all of those on-ramps are currently set using the priority system, so we might want to do there what we did on this one. Force traffic out of the inside lane to allow people on. I wonder if there's anything we can do at the other end to... So this one's the busiest off-ramp because it's the closest to where the traffic's coming in. This one's ever so slightly further away, so this will be the most used ramp. I mean, it's turning back just like off-ramps do in the real world, so that's kind of cool to see, but not ideal for traffic flow. It's not causing an issue. It's not a priority for me to look at, I suppose, but especially considering this is all that we're putting here. We might need to change a few services around, we might need to change how the public transport supplies it, but there's no more businesses going into this zone. It's kind of done, so shouldn't be too much to worry about traffic-wise if it's moving okay, which it is. Might change if we do put something at the top and we share the ring road for it. Could reduce the amount of traffic coming in at the bottom. That'll be interesting to see. There's still a lot of growth to do with this city, so I'm excited to see what we can do. Let's have one last look at the dam. 160 megawatts. The water behind it looking quite still. Yeah, I'm going to want to do some research on that. Definitely going to want to improve that, or we will be winding back and not damming the river. Lots of interesting things to see next session. Let's give it a proper save. that will be all for today's stream. So we've reached the end of the 3 hours of City Skylines. Like I said, City Skylines will be back next week. It should be next Tuesday. I imagine I'll keep that going, but the start time will be different. It will be later in the day. So provisionally I'm going to say next Tuesday at 1 PM. But you'll need to check the schedule to make sure. I'll update that schedule by Sunday evening. So if you come and check the schedule here on the Twitch page or the one that I tweet out on Sunday, then you'll be able to see when we're next continuing with this city.